Two very significant events happened on Monday, November 27 at the Presidential Villa. First, the President inaugurated the committee that is going to negotiate a new minimum wage for Nigerian workers. Then again, he met with the Governors Forum, where they looked at the plight of workers in states that are owing salaries, and the President discussed how succor can be given to them. These two developments show the Muhammadu Buhari administration as one that cares for the people. That is why the government has listened to the yearning of Nigerian workers who have stridently called for a new minimum wage. The ball has been set rolling, and it is believed that something good that will give succor to Nigerian workers will come soon. And we know that a number of times the President has approved bailout packages for the states. Again, the President is concerned, and he has given instruction to the ministers of Finance, Budget and National Planning, and the Governor of Central Bank to negotiate with the governors to see how outstanding packages due to them, particularly from the Paris Club refund, can be released so that workers can smile, particularly at this time of the year when they are preparing for the festive season. The Muhammadu Buhari administration is interested in Nigerian people. It has come to serve and not to be served.
The meeting between President Buhari and members of the Nigerian Governors Forum lasted less than an hour. Enough time to discuss several issues, especially that of unpaid salaries of workers in some states.
The President himself had expressed the need to make sure that every Nigerian, especially the workers, have a beautiful Christmas. And the issues of the outstanding Paris Club was discussed, and that was taken care of to make sure that the workers workers in the various states and everywhere in the country gets to celebrate the Christmas.
The ability to pay is tied to the Paris Club refund, which the President gives approval.
We still have balance 50%. Of the first 50% unpaid. This is what the President said must be paid in time for the state governments to meet their obligations before Christmas.
The question then arose as to how such monies were spent in the past.
Still ongoing. But people who are not aware of exactly what is going on in the various states may criticize the utilization of the money. But the fact is that there's no way you can just take up government money and spend it and abuse it. It's just not possible.
The governors are happy with the President for steering the nation out of recession. Earlier, President Muhammadu Buhari inaugurated a tripartite national minimum wage committee.
My hope is that the outcome of the deliberations of the committee would be consensual and generally acceptable.
He urges the team to collectively bargain in good faith. Members of the committee believe this is a long-awaited important step.
This is actually the beginning of the process. The process is that negotiation will commence, where all the facts and all the issues will be discussed.
The team comprises representatives of the federal and state governments, the NLC, TUC, and those of other employers. The committee's recommendations will be referred to the National Assembly for input. There is, however, no fixed time for the minimum wage negotiating committee to complete its task. From the Presidential Villa, Abuja, Ibrahim Adra, Channels Television News.
you are not scared that a PDP might return to power in 2019?
No. I don't want to talk about.
All right, you said this.
I want to also know. Say what I said, I will answer you.
Okay, you said this, and I quote you. You said, how can they come back? Referring to the PDP now. Yes. They will definitely go into oblivion. They would never win election again in Nigeria unless they change their name. That's what you said about the PDP.
That is correct. Because all international agencies and all the agencies know what happened here, that our treasury was looted. Not even, you see, there is a difference that government would do contract and take 10% or take 5% or take, there was nothing like that. We are telling treasury was looted. People open our central bank and mass out the money in the central bank. So how can they return again? There's no international power that likes what they do. I'm speaking to you on the point of strength. The international community, we are very disappointed on what the former government did, and that is why they insisted they push the former government away. So I'm not here to talk who did this, but all I know that Buhari remains one candidate that have over 10 million followership on his back. So if you do the election tomorrow, 10 million voters will follow him unasked for. And the Southeast, he will make a good showing in all parts of the Southeast.
Really? Because yes. You are the one who has said that the Southeast has been marginalized. And you are the one who is saying that the Southeast will follow Buhari?
Yes, even if the Buhari started marginalizing. In fact, Buhari have done better than all the presidents in Southeast, all the presidents that past president. Look at the Southeast roads. He's building them today. You know, I don't like to brag and talk like a politician.
So the Southeast is not marginalized?
No, we are marginalized, but the issue will be addressed. This thing didn't start today. It started since after the war. So at least, let me tell you, Sean, for the past 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, did you go through Enugu Onitsha Expressway? The road was impassable. But I was just there. I saw you in Oka. You saw RCC. Is it RCC or some company are busy building Enugu, Oka, Onitsha Expressway. If you are going to Port Harcourt, Aba, Umuahia Expressway 3 years ago, you will not pass. Despite that, we have all the heavyweights. So this is why I tell our brothers, we don't need even their ministers. What we need is development to increase our GDP. What we need is infrastructure. What should I gain when you appoint me Minister of Works, who is from Ibere in my town? And how do you expect him? He will not do anything. Ibere people will be suffering. There will be no road. Did you hear of a village celebrating of having light after 7 years when one of the ministers left? So you can imagine, just this year, So you can imagine that President Buhari is adequately addressing the issues. He will address the issues that Southeasterners are looking for to be addressed.
Now that you are here talking about the Southeast, the Biafra agitations, for a moment, where is Nnamdi Kanu? There was
Nnamdi Kanu,
you know where he is.
No. I never say I knew. I said one of his relations told me, because I was looking for him for good. When I arrived from the United States, I went straight to my hometown in Ibere, and I visited the brigade commander, visited the commissioner of police, visited the other intelligence agencies in the state when they said they were keeping him, and it's not true. So one of his relations came to me, and the man he stayed in his hotel, in Bravo Hotel, for 2 nights, reconfirmed to me that he left from the hotel he stayed. This is relation reconfirmed to me that he left from his hotel to unknown place. So there's nobody who could have said. But I was looking for him genuinely.
Do you think he's in
to
Nigeria?
Get him? What? I was looking for him genuinely to get him to my house and then help to dazzle the issue. Mind you, we did this for Wazirike sometime when Obasanjo was there, and we could have done it for him because, you see, we needed peace. The Igbos never knew how much they were losing in GDP. You see, when people continue saying things are difficult, people who come from Cameroon to buy things in Aba, they were not coming. Niger Republic, they were not coming. All our neighboring countries who used to shop and buy things from Aba, none of them, they all left. So how do you want GDP to grow? Why every day people will be fighting on the street? Let me tell you, I'm passionate about our people. I'm passionate about this country. I'm passionate about oneness of this country. I'm not sure that any of those people doing Biafra love the Igbos the way I love them. I have put my business at risk for the Igbos when I was governor. Mind you, Hallmark Bank was closed down. My oil block was revoked. Slok Airline was sent out of the country. So you can see that I have paid a better price than any politician in Nigeria. So I don't want to get irritated on things that should not make me irritated. But all I know that Nigeria must change one way or the other. We must change this country.
All right. Do you think the young man, Nnamdi Kanu, is still in Nigeria?
From what the relations to the answer is no.
He may have left the country.
Not, the boy told me authoritatively that he went to Malaysia, from Malaysia to London. And I still stand by that story. I just saw the boy in Abia State a few days ago, and he reaffirmed to me what he told me.
Okay, if you talk about the issues of, let's come back to the issue of the APC and the way the party is being run. Do you think the party needs a change of leadership?
Well, I have not been, I can't really say yes or no. What I know, I want President Buhari to be involved in his party. I would recommend that heavily. I want President Buhari, because when you don't straighten a man's hand, there's no way party can run very well. But I believe if you straighten anybody that is chairman of the party, you'll be straightened. So I believe that the president needs to be advised to be a participatory party man and know what happens to the party every week.
The president also realized that a lot of appointments are not being made. That was one NEC meeting that they had in several months. No national convention in 2 years. You think the party's leadership is in tatters?
I don't think so, no.
But when the party is going,
party have a right
headed
to do,
towards unconstitutionality.
No. They did many congresses, they did many everything, and
but the constitution says that the party must hold a convention once in 2 years. The party has not held one.
No, they are holding a convention. It's not yet over. They are holding one.
But they've not done that once.
They will do it
as stipulated by the constitution.
Those things need money to be done. They will do it.
Do you think that President Buhari needs an automatic ticket?
Even President Buhari himself will reject automatic tickets. He's a Democrat to the heart. He would like to see his popularity being tested. He's not afraid of any candidate coming to run. He is willing to challenge any candidate to challenge him in the primaries. So, you know, as I told you before, he still won Nigeria with 10 million followers. He used to be 12 million. I removed 2 million for you, so you don't get angry with me. So I think you see the presidential candidate that have 10 million people lying behind him.
And he's not threatened for 2019.
And he's not threatened for 2019.
But I will ask you this last question just before we close. The 2019 election is just around the corner. A lot of maneuverings are going on. A lot of people seems to be aggrieved within the party. Some people who thought they might get this and might get that, but they couldn't get it. Atiku Abubakar is leaving the APC. Do you think that may spring some more people leaving the APC?
Well, that depends on the mindset of people in APC. The people might leave, people might not leave. You cannot. Democracy is a very beautiful thing. It's a question of choice. So if people who are very close to Atiku Abubakar who sympathize with him, they might leave. If people who don't sympathize with him, they will jubilate, like El-Rufai is jubilating that he left. So it's not the best of thing for you to ask me whether people will leave or not. Democracy is, the beauty of democracy is the ability of everybody to come together. And coming together is still what we want. So,
Oji Uzokalu, former governor of Abia State, chieftain of the APC. Many thanks for your time on the program tonight. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.